Heck, even Doctor Who as a fandom is divided right now. Many of those people trying to divide fans likely had zero interest or knowledge in the show prior to July 16th, 2017, but then suddenly became experts on the programme.
Now, I have been trying to give this guy a certain level of respect and professionalism. However, I'm done with that. From now on, we are going to take this seriously. If they want to act like idiots, we will treat them like idiots. We will give them the insults they desire. Let's begin.
All context with just this radio advert, Doctor Who is about a traveller who's just a good person. And you know what? I think that's what we need right now.
Which doctor was not a good person? Can anyone tell me this? Which doctor was not a good character? Which doctor was not a positive character? Every single doctor, that's the point of the character. Every single Doctor Who character was a positive and a good character who was also a traveller. Why is this unique to Jodie Whittaker?
Good person is Jodie Whittaker's most defining element right now as the Doctor. She's empathetic to those who deserve being listened to. She attended Grace's funeral instead of running away from it. She's apologetic whenever she realises she's in the wrong instead of just doubling down on her mistakes. And possibly most importantly of all, she warns her new friends of how dangerous travelling with her can be and gives them the option to step away. I don't think I can imagine any Doctor taking that extra step towards real, genuine maturity.
Say it with me. These people are idiots. Trilby has got to be one of the stupidest YouTubers I've ever seen talk on television or YouTube. So he listed 3 things that apparently makes Jodie's Doctor the perfect Doctor out of all the past 13 Doctors. Number 1, she's empathetic to people who need listening to. I don't know about you, but I can't think of a single Doctor in the past who was not empathetic to people who needed listening to. I can't think of a single one. Number 2, she attended the funeral. So because Jodie attended the funeral, she's a perfect Doctor. And number 3, because Jodie warned her 3 friends that traveling with her is dangerous, that makes her more mature than all the other Doctors in the past? I wonder how much they're paying this guy to talk this amount of nonsense. Like, it must be, maybe you guys should write in the comments how much you think he's being paid. I'm guessing maybe about, 200,000 per episode. Because I can't seem to quantify how much it could be to talk this amount of nonsense,
Capaldi's Doctor when he started out was all questions and ambiguity. Am I a good man? Was plastered throughout the marketing, hinting at a darker Doctor. Yet the viewing figures for Capaldi's tenure weren't great, and what has gone down as some of Capaldi's greatest, most defining moments were when they dropped the ambiguity and offered the viewer a Doctor who was just kind.
Trust Trilby to bring up the viewing figures of a past series and then try to use it as a point to push up Jodie Whittaker. The series before was bad because of the horrific writing. That was the problem with Doctor Who back then. The difference between Doctor Who right now and Doctor Who back then is, back then Doctor Who had a terrible storyline, terrible writing. But now we have terrible storylines and terrible writing and a PC agenda being pushed forward. That's the difference. And trust him to use that as an argument. This guy is an idiot, a full front idiot. I've said this before, this guy is a fool.
He's tried to adopt the dark and gritty ambiguity like the DCEU, with even Superman being a questionable moral figure.
Oh, that's where he crosses the line. Bringing the DCEU into this. This guy's an idiot. Trilby is a fool. Listen, guys, this guy is an idiot. Remember, if you watch any of his videos, remember, this guy's an idiot. He appeals to the lowest common denominator. He appeals to the person, the lowest audience. By that I mean the person who soaks up everything he says and licks it without thinking. He doesn't expect you to use your brain. Remember that. When you watch his videos, he expects you to turn off your brain and just put in your emotions without thinking. The DCU didn't work because of studio interference, and then Zack made the movie too long. If you haven't seen that, it's a superhero movie. The movie had its own issues, and he's bringing in that to talk about Doctor Who. It just goes to show you what kind of person this guy is. It has no connection to what we're talking about right now. The darkness of the movie wasn't what made the movie bad. It was the stupid stuff added into the movie and the extended periods added into the movie. Whereas I haven't watched the rest of this video, but I'm 100% certain he's gonna compare it to a Marvel movie. Let's keep watching.
With audiences. Captain America is one of the most popular characters in the world for exactly that reason. It's a thing to do. But what Jodie's Doctor has that Davison's Doctor doesn't is that extra mature streak, where she will hold her nerve against a space racist, or take a zero-tolerance gun policy, which even David Tennant's Doctor never managed to uphold.
What a fucking idiot. No, seriously, excuse my French, what a fucking idiot. He just compared Jodie to Tennant, saying that Tennant broke his no-gun policy, whereas Jodie has not. How many seasons did Tennant have? And how many seasons... We haven't even finished Jodie's first season. What kind of an idiot is this guy? Seriously.
Things are really shitty right now for good people. Money in politics is destroying Western democracy, voter suppression, the resurgence of fascism, racism, discrimination against LGBTQ people, widespread shootings only perpetrated for profit, sexism. The UK is about to plunge itself off a cliff for basically zero reason, and the leader of the opposition, who I'm confident has the best of intentions, is just not showing up to play. Poverty is on the steep rise, fake news dominates and further seeks to divide us. We're run by absolute idiots. There are glimmers of hope, but right now we're living in a world where good, kind people are losing ground in the fight.
And so a female doctor coming onto a shitty sci-fi show is going to fix all these problems. You see what kind of a fucking idiot this guy actually is? Do you guys see this? Do you see how much of a fool this guy is? He just used a Doctor Who title to list his political issues and his political agendas. He's listing all the... Notice they all took a specific stance. Oh lord, this has got to be... I think either this is fake or this is just some big massive hoax. Because somebody cannot be this blatantly stupid. I genuinely don't believe that.
Even Doctor Who as a fandom is divided right now. Many of those people trying to divide fans likely had zero interest or knowledge in the show prior to July 16th, 2017, but then suddenly became experts on the programme. I wonder why. Yet,
Yo, did you guys hear that? So anybody who's trying to separate the fandom, or he's referring to us by the way, so people like us, we just started watching Doctor Who, according to Trilby, we just started watching Doctor Who when the female Doctor was announced. So we really don't know what the hell we're talking about, you know? We're just fake fans who just started to come in when Jodie came in because we don't like females being in TV shows.
In terms of racial and gender politics and representation, Doctor Who for 55 years has been on the forefront. Doctor Who's first producer was Verity Lambert, the first female producer at the BBC. The first Doctor Who director, Waris Hussein, was an...
but you see, I didn't know this. I didn't know any of this. And do you know why I didn't know it? Because the female director, did not shout about it. Neither did the openly gay guy. The fact that we don't know, well, I didn't know. The fact that we don't know just goes to push forward my point about diversity even more. She got the position because she was the right person for the job. She worked hard, she did her job, and she got to that position because she earned it. She earned it. No one can take that away from her. She was the first female director. She wasn't selected for the director position by one of her good friends at the BBC. She wasn't given that position because she was a woman. She wasn't given that position because of her skin color. She earned it, she worked hard, and she got that position. The gay guy was gay. I didn't even know he was gay. And does it matter? No, it doesn't matter because he didn't shout about it. You see what I'm saying? Diversity shouldn't be talked about because it's not important to what we are doing. By that, I'm not saying it's not okay to be diverse. I'm saying it's not important to what we're doing. Like MrTardis just said, there was the first female director at the BBC and one of the first openly gay guys or whatever. We didn't know this, and did it affect our story of the show? Did it make us dislike gays? No. It didn't give us any opinion because they didn't shout about it. They made it normal. It should be normal. These kind of things should be normal. You shouldn't have to talk about being female. You shouldn't have to talk about being gay. Make it normal and leave it normal, okay? That's how it should be. Simple. I think for the new series, they showed us a picture of all the directors they'd hired, and the majority of them were females, and then they were saying this because they wanted to tell us that they had hired a number of female directors.
Right here, right now, 55 years in, we have Whittaker, who is kind, who will learn from her mistakes, will stand by your side, and is willing to fight for you.
Just like every other Doctor incarnation in history. Just like every single other incarnation of the Doctor in history. Why is this important? Dude, Jodie is the worst of all the Doctors. She's the stupidest Doctor, the silliest Doctor, the most immature doctor, the most childish doctor, the weakest doctor. Sarah Jane is more of a doctor than her. What are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
Reappear in any form, so who knows? Anna may be the next doctor.
I've seen the full video, and that Anna girl has the potential to become a doctor, a brilliant doctor, compared to Jodie Whittaker. How funny is that? A kid, even her brother, or both of them could become a better doctor than Jodie Whittaker. Anyone can be a better doctor than Jodie Whittaker. That's how silly this whole thing is. So in summary, to respond to the video title, no, Jodie Whittaker is not the almost perfect doctor. Jodie Whittaker is the almost worst doctor. Yeah, definitely. In fact, she is the worst doctor. Jodie is the worst thing to happen. Jodie and Chris Chibnall is the worst thing to happen to Doctor Who. And guess what? They may be leaving after the next series. So they even know that what they're doing is wrong. So let's stop all of this soft nonsense, okay? And thank you for watching. Please subscribe. Wonderful.